Another year, another Rare with Flair Christmas special.
Yes, we are bringing in the holidays by focusing a little more on the rare side of things this year.
So stick around.
Hello and welcome to Rare with Flair,
the podcast where two 20-somethings with the same rare disease are living their best festive lives. I'm your host, Cassandra.
And I'm your host, Casey. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited to be doing another Christmas special.
Yay!
I feel like just last year we were doing our Christmas special and we found that incredible Christmas jingle. If you are an OG follower, you might remember the amazing Christmas jingle.
And if not, there's nothing stopping you from going to listen to it right now just because it is but you probably already heard it if you're listening to this now, but you should hear it again in last year's.
Yes, we're hoping we can find it again to put it in this. It's like a royalty-free music, but it's amazing. Ooh. Like, I am just blown away by how perfect it is, so I really hope that we haven't edited this episode yet, but we're hoping that you actually heard it at the beginning. So, yes. Anyway, though, how have you been, Cass?
I have been all right. Actually, speaking of Christmas, I had a white elephant gift exchange with some friends yesterday, which was super fun. And we had a whole game that was like about swapping the gifts, and it was a blast. And I think everyone kind of ended up with what they really wanted, and I ended up with some charms for my Crocs, which if you heard our Disney episode and our 5-minute ad for Crocs, that wasn't really an ad, it was
That wasn't really an ad. Yeah.
But we used to hate them and now we don't, so.
Yes, no, go back and listen to our Crocs, like, monologue on the Disney episode, but I'm very happy for you with that. I've also been getting really into the festiveness of the season. This is my favorite time of year, so I just try to soak it up as much as I can. I'm watching every Christmas movie and TV special that I can possibly access.
And I'm Christmas into your veins.
Yes, I'm injecting it into my veins. I'm keeping a running list of everything I'm consuming and, media-wise that I'm consuming. Wow, my iPad is falling. That is not cute. Okay, we're good.
Wow, guys.
We're good. So anyway,
we're having problems.
Loving the Christmas time. Speaking of the Christmas time, we got a listener question.
We sure did.
Kind of related to Christmas, and I literally just had it pulled up a few minutes ago, and I do not have it anymore, but I'm grabbing it. 1 second, everybody. This is like the live part of our pod. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read the listener question. I'm not going to say their name, but just because we didn't tell them, this is a DM we got, and we didn't tell them we'd be putting it on the podcast, so, I'll just keep their identity private, but they said, I am looking for some advice. I hope you can help me. I was invited to a Christmas party at a coworker's house. I do want to go, but a part of me is a little bit nervous because I'm afraid that if they do play some games that involve reading, for example, trivia games, etc., I would feel awkward because I wouldn't be able to participate or read what is on the cards. Do you guys have any experience with this? So I love this question. I think this applies to anyone with low vision, not just around the holidays, but at so many different times in our lives. So, Cass, do you want to give some advice?
Sure. So I've definitely been there, right? I remember being with a group of people I didn't know super well, like earlier in the summer, and we were playing this game that had a lot of, like, the cards had lots of words on them, and it was kind of complicated, and it was a little bit awkward. I just kind of, I tried my best. I used my phone as much as I can as my magnifier, like we talked about in a recent episode we did on assistive tech. But I think that, I've been there. I think that also there's a little element of, just kind of, laugh at yourself a little bit if that's what it comes down to, and if everyone's really, set on playing the game that is very difficult for you to read. But, I still, enjoyed the time, and I had no idea what I was doing or playing. But ultimately, though, it is, a matter of advocating for yourself, and I think that it shows that you want to participate by saying, I think this might be really hard for me to participate in. And like try to accommodate it to the best of your abilities and just try and have a good time all around. Like, I don't know, it's a good time, and try to enjoy games, because I think especially around the holidays this happens a lot.
Yes, definitely. I love games and I want to be included in them. And I think, it kind of depends on if you know the people well or not. I feel like if it's your close friends, they probably know you're low vision, but it can get kind of awkward if it's a group you don't know, like coworkers or people like that. I recently went to a little game night and there were quite a few people there that I did not know at all. And there were a few things I couldn't read. And I just literally straight up said, hey, I'm visually impaired. Can you read this for me? Like, kind of laughing about it, because I feel like it's even more awkward if you just like attempt to read it and you can't, and people don't know why you're not able to read it. Like, you just say it, like, be confident, be who you are, use that self-advocacy that you have. That's part of being disabled, is like having to speak up for yourself just all the time, not only in work situations, but in social situations too. And I know it can be difficult, but at the end of the day, it's actually way less awkward to just say hey, I can't see. Because, like, no one's going to judge you for not being able to see. You can't help it, so just say it.
Besides, there are a lot of games that aren't, like, able to be played without reading too much. I think, like, even something like Taboo might be easier, because there's only, you gotta just remember the words that you can't say. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Like, that's when our memory comes into play. Low vision people often have really good memories, and sometimes we can just, like, pick up on things like that, or just use other coping skills, like if it's mainly a listening game or stuff like that. So we really enjoyed that listener question, though. Thank you for asking, and we'd love to answer more. So if anyone has questions, you can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or our email, hello@rarewithflair.com.
Yes, we haven't received some emails in a bit, but we do our best to try and respond. And we love hearing from you guys, so thanks a lot.
We do.
It's time.
It's time. It is finally time to get into the meat of the app, which is, we did a Christmas special last year, and we didn't want to make this special exactly the same. I mean, that would be silly. So Cass had a great idea to kind of focus more on the rare stuff, because last year we focused more on the Flair stuff. And so we think it would be cool to focus on, our disability. It's not our whole life, but it is a big part of our life. And, just talking about how it relates to some of the hobbies and activities we do around the holidays.
Does affect everything that we do.
It affects everything we do. It's not our whole life, but it affects everything. Yeah. So the first thing on the list is seeing and performing in Christmas shows. We didn't talk about this much at all, I don't think, on our last Christmas special, and this is definitely something. Like, Cass, is there any Christmas shows that you see on a regular like on a yearly basis, or have you ever performed in Christmas shows? And you can answer both questions, obviously. I want to know the answer to both.
Yes, so I wouldn't say yearly, but there have been years that my family and I have gone to see, like the Nutcracker, for example. I think that's like a really common thing that people would want to do around the holidays. Something about the music that is like inherently festive, because people like to listen to it around this time of year. So I think a lot of it goes to what we've talked about before about seeing live shows. I'm thinking specifically about the Nutcracker. There are lots of different ways that you could do it. There have been years that I have gotten audio descriptions, so I have like a little voice talking to me, which I think is especially good for ballets, just because so much of it is, music and not verbal at all. And I think that, like, there have been years where I've taken a bioptic, a monocular, and there have been some times where, like, frankly, I just, like, kind of sit and just listen to the music, because I think it's festive on its own. But what about you? Like, what have you seen? What do you do?
Yeah, like, I've been to the Nutcracker before. I agree, it's really visual. Like, there have been points in the Nutcracker where I've gotten a little bored just because of how visual it is. But I still enjoy the atmosphere. I still enjoy like the Christmasiness of it all. You know, if Christmasiness is a word.
Yes, it is now.
So like and this year I'm going to go see A Christmas Carol, which I love to see,
Yay.
and I have performed in that for a few years in the past. And then I did a lot of Christmassy shows growing up. I was in The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, which is a silly play. And I was in Madeline's Christmas, which was a musical. And yes, Madeline,
I didn't know
like
Madeline
the 12
had a musical,
girls in two
a
straight
Christmas
lines.
musical.
A Christmas musical. It's not very good, but it was very fun to be in.
I love that.
And so yeah, like I feel like, you know, I've talked about theater before and how like my vision affects it, but overall I was always able to participate. And as far as going to see it, yeah, I enjoy seeing theater any time of year, whether it's Christmas or not. And so I think the Nutcracker, like I said, is more visual than like a show with dialogue. So that can be tricky, but overall, yeah, I enjoy that part of Christmas. And we didn't talk about it in our last special, how like Christmas shows are really fun to go see. I actually got to see the Rockettes too when I was in New York.
No, that's so cool.
And yeah, their Christmas show, and it's so festive. It really feels like you're kicking off the Christmas season when you go see the Rockettes.
Yeah,
it was really, really special.
I think even like not even performances, but sometimes so recently I just went to my town's like holiday illumination thing, and it was just so cute, and people sung like carols in the square, the green area in our town, and Santa came and they read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and I couldn't really see Santa, but I could, you know, hear him, and so I thought that it's still super fun to go to festive type of events. As far as performing, I did a lot of Christmas things as a kid also. I remember one year I was Mary in the Christmas pageant. I felt like I struck it big.
Oh yeah, that's a good role.
There was another year I had like a lot of lines, and I was really proud of myself.
Is this at your church or at your school?
It was at my church. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love it. Was it on Christmas Eve?
I don't remember because I was like 7,
okay.
But yeah.
Oh, that's so cute.
Still super fun. I when I was in ballet, I was in like the little kids Nutcracker. Like I was like one of the Mother Ginger Snaps. So like, I just like.
Wait, I have a really important question.
Yes.
Important question. Has any of the Christmas shows you've ever been in involved live animals?
Oh, I think there was one year that we did a live nativity, and I was an angel, and I think there were live animals.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
No, I've never had that experience, but it seems really interesting. And
I just remember being freezing because it was outside in December, so I remember mostly just like having the hot hands in our gloves.
Yes. I always just remember having really fond memories of doing the Christmas program at school and like rehearsing those songs for the months leading up to it. Like I know some kids hated performing at school, but I was one of those kids that like loved the programs that we got to do. And
like theater or choir or both?
Just in elementary school, the music teacher just taught us songs and we would perform them like at a Christmas concert, So I always thought that was really, really fun. And I still remember some of the songs we sang and everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So let's see. I'm getting a memory, but I feel like we should move on.
Oh, no, get your memory out.
Okay, hold on. I was in a choir group that was outside of school when I was in high school, like the last 2 years of high school. And I'm trying to remember the circumstances surrounding it, but there were multiple choirs based on like age level. And we would perform our songs that we memorized, but in between we would sing like Christmas carols with the whole audience. And I'm pretty sure we had to like look at like a sheet music with our neighbor. And I could not. Yeah, and I'm just remembering like how I could not see one of them, and I didn't know it because you know most of the Christmas carols. It was one that I did not know.
Oh
And I
no.
remember that was like one of the few times where I have just mouthed watermelon because I wasn't about to put it up
Yes.
right in my
I mean,
face.
yeah, if anyone has ever done choir or theater or singing of any kind, you know the moment where they say share the sheet music with your neighbor, because it always happens, and it's literally not possible.
No.
And it's embarrassing.
And it was like live, like it was like
Ugh.
the actual
Oh, I
Christmas
hate that
concert,
for
so I
you.
didn't have time to learn it.
Oh, I hate that for you so much.
But it was really funny. I now have the story to tell. Anyway,
Yeah,
Let's
no,
talk
but
about-
that was a great story, and it was very rare related.
thank
so I
you.
appreciate that.
It was coming into my brain just as I was ready to transition. But now,
Yes,
as we transition
yes.
into festivities, general Christmas festivities, let's talk about drive-through lights. And I want to hear you because I know you
Yeah.
do it like every year. Spoiler.
Yeah, so like, you know, depending on what city you live in, a lot of cities have like light displays that you can walk through, drive through. I know we talk about Molly Burke a lot, but actually she just posted a video about this, I think today, yesterday or today.
I saw that.
And it was really, really cool because she barely has any usable vision, and she was still able to enjoy the lights, and because she has light perception. And I think that's like an overall thing for a lot of low vision people is we're able to enjoy lights. Mm-hmm. And I really, even if we can't see the detail, I really just enjoy seeing lights because, you know, against the backdrop of that dark sky and the lights in front, it's really like good contrast, and you're
Yeah.
able to see it. And I always loved it as a kid. I thought it was so magical and amazing, and I still love it now. It's really fun. So what about you?
Yeah, no, I love light displays. And, like, sure, we can't appreciate, like, every house in the little Christmas village that's all cute and lit up. But just seeing all of those lights all together in one place, like, sometimes they've got colors, sometimes they kind of flash a little bit, you know. I just think that
Yeah.
it's so, like, special for the season. I think, like, just, like, a super simple example is, like, I mentioned my town does, like, they really like Christmas, and so we have like this little strip of like a little historical part of a small town that I moved to recently, and they put up lights on like every pole and every tree and like every storefront, and just driving through at night is just like magic.
Oh,
So
yes.
it doesn't even have to be like a whole thing. It just is really special to see like houses on your block that now have Christmas
Yes.
lights. Like, it
I
gets
also
so
love
dark
the lights.
in January.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. It does. And I also love the lights that move with the music because I feel like that's like a multi-sensory experience. You're not just seeing it, but you're hearing it, and like I just feel like that's really good for low vision people too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like
That's like
I don't know if you're
mesmerizing.
like it is. If any parents are listening and you have a low vision child and you think they wouldn't enjoy lights, like obviously everyone's vision is different, but I would dare to say that I think they really would enjoy lights, and definitely don't like sit that one out just because it's super visual. Because like it is super visual. It's pretty much just your vision that you're using to see lights, but at the same time, like we can often see them pretty well because lights.
You don't
know?
need to see every individual light bulb in order to appreciate the lights.
Yeah, of course. The colors, especially if you have color vision like we do, are really, really fun. So I enjoy that a lot.
I actually did something that was cool, where, I mean, it's sort of related to like the timed lights with the music. So last year, the town where my parents live, where I grew up, they did this thing, and I think they're doing it again. And I don't know if it was just because of COVID, but it was actually super fun. There was a citywide Christmas scavenger hunt, and like people would like register their house to be part of it, and then like there would be just like lists of things that you would have to look for at all of these different addresses, like flamingo with Santa hat, and like
Sounds blind friendly to me.
windmill. And yeah, well, it was fun with my parents because my mom loves a scavenger hunt. And I just thought it was super fun to see like lots of different houses and holiday decor, and it was like not something I could ever do on my own because one, you drive between houses, and two, you have to find objects. But I still thought it was super fun because I used my memory as part of it. So, like, I remembered the list of the things that we had to look for, so we didn't always have to, like, look at the paper.
Oh, I love that. So you were still, like, actively helping.
I was still, like, involved, even though I didn't necessarily find the thing.
No, yeah, that is fun. I love a scavenger hunt, too. I love, like, silly games. I'm such a kid at heart, so, like, I love that. But sometimes when it's super visual like that, it does kind of just, I don't know, it kind of bums me out sometimes, because I'm like, oh, that would be fun if I could do that. And, like, I don't know, that's kind of vulnerable for me to say, because I'm not often bummed out by my vision, like, but sometimes when it's stuff like that, like, in Epcot at Walt Disney World, there's, like, an Easter egg hunt thing, and I've never even gone at Easter time, but it's, like, it looks really cool when I've seen people on YouTube do it, and they go to each pavilion at Epcot, and they go to each country, and they have to find, like, the egg or what, and, you know, find the thing or whatever. And I've always thought those games would be so much fun if I could see. But yeah, like, I still, like, when you're with sighted people and they're doing it, it's still fun to be there.
Yeah, you know? I feel like you have to go with, like, the right people, because I think that I wouldn't go with certain people who I feel like would make me feel like I wasn't part of it because I couldn't look at the house.
Yeah, because they could easily, like, leave you out of it.
Yeah,
you know. But if you go with people that are making you included, that's really fun. And we, like, in our city, I think we've had something similar to that too. And we also, last year, they give out awards for, like, the best doorway of the house, the best, like, classic lights, the best fun lights, like. And so my mom and I went and looked at all those last year too, and that we hope to do it again this year, and it's really fun.
It's so fun.
I love lights, man.
All right, we're gonna talk about gifts.
We're gonna talk about gifts. So, as you know, I don't know if it's, like, our tippy top love language, but one of our top love languages for both of us is gift giving. It's so much fun to really, and I know I feel like people give it a bad rap because it comes off as materialistic, but what it is really, like, showing that you truly know the person, in my opinion, and making them feel seen and known by you by picking out the perfect gift for them and putting a lot of thought into it. And so we want to talk about the rare side of gift giving and buying, and, like, a few different things. How you shop for the gift, which we've kind of touched on before, but also how you receive the gift. Can you always see the gift? So I've talked about this before. I want to mention it again. When I was younger, before delivery was really a thing, before Amazon or any online shopping, I would always be annoyed that I couldn't really pick out Christmas gifts for my family, because I wasn't able to just drive to the store alone and discreetly do it. I had to always be with people at the store. And I feel like it's really, really cool as a disabled person that I now can completely discreetly buy my gifts. And I really like that it gets delivered to my door and they'll never know and they'll never see it. And I just think that's a really cool thing. I mean, for a lot of reasons for a non-driver, but it's a great non-driver gift-loving thing that I can do now.
I seriously think that that's so important to still be able to preserve that, like, anonymity, that special surprise to buying a gift. There's something, like, a little more magical about, like, coming out of a store with a bag.
I know. I miss Christmas time at the mall.
I know.
That was really special.
I remember when I was, like, dating someone once, and I was like, you stay out here, and I'm going to go in the store, and I'm going to buy your gift. And I'm pretty sure you're going to know what it is, but that's okay.
I know.
Sometimes it still happens, but at the same time, like, now we have at least more options. And I think that helps a lot for our own, like, I don't know, our own self pride, maybe?
Oh, yeah, sure. And, like, another cool thing about online shopping, and, like, I mean, I obviously definitely encourage supporting local stores and shopping in person, but literally I can't drive, so let me have this. I think another cool thing about online shopping is... And by the way, you can still support small businesses online, but is the fact that you can be really, really, really specific. I feel like when you're going to, like, a store, you kind of have to get what's there.
Right.
But online shopping, anything and everything. It's like Bo Burnham. Can I interest you in everything all of the time?
Yes.
If you get that reference, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty cool that literally anything you can probably dream up, you could search and buy for the person online.
Yes. And you don't always have to do it by supporting, and to quote Bo Burnham, Jeffrey Bezos.
But Jeffrey Bezos. No, you don't. I really like Etsy a lot. Not only is Etsy super personal, but you're supporting, like, you know, independent people making art. How cool is that?
One of my gifts this year, and I'm really excited about it, but I can't give it away because I obviously haven't given it yet. I ended up just reaching out to someone I knew that is like a talented crafts person, and I was like, hey, can I commission you to make something? And it was amazing, and it has like a personal touch because it's someone I know. And
have you told me about this?
I think I have, but actually I received it yesterday and I have to show it to you.
I need you to tell right when this pod ends.
Yes.
I need you to tell me.
I need to show you. But still, like, you can even get something from someone that you know. And I think that there's like some sort of a charm to that it's not just a stranger on the internet, which is great. That's fine.
Or I made a few handmade items this year for some people. That's always fun. Ooh. I think, like, and that's a way to not have to leave your house too. And I mean, you have to get the supplies to make the thing, of course, but that's a fun way to, you know, be creative. And so, but what about opening presents? I know you have talked about this before. I think maybe in our last Christmas episode, but we've got to, it's been a year. We've got to touch on this again. Is opening a gift and your vision letting you down and you not really immediately knowing what the heck you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, another year, a new anecdote, right? Like, I feel like...
Oh, no. You have a new one?
I feel like every year I can come up with, like, a new one. I think I mentioned... I'm trying to remember which one I mentioned even last year. But I remember, like, sometimes when I've received, like a... You know when you don't receive an actual physical item, but like someone will like print a paper for you, and then you're
my mom is the queen of paper printing for presents. She is the queen.
And obviously, like, you can't really see it, or like when someone gives you a book, and then they write a dedication, or you're sitting there trying to read a card.
Oh,
it's always so funny because I always have to excuse myself and be like, "Excuse me. Let me take out my phone first." And then I have to take out my phone, open the magnifier, and then I close up on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what? So it's always super delayed.
Yes. Well, you know what's funny is, like, since Cass and I don't live near each other, we send each other birthday, Christmas gifts, and we have to, like, write out an explanation of what the gift is because, you know, like, when you're not sitting right next to someone when they're opening it, you want to explain, like, the backstory of why you got it and, like, you know, all of that. And so we, like, send each other these papers, which I must say, especially for a low vision person, you have the most beautiful handwriting I've ever seen in my life.
Wow, thank you.
Are you told that a lot? Because I feel like it's legitimately amazing.
I appreciate that a lot. If I'm writing quickly, I mean, okay, so here's the kicker. I can't really read my own handwriting very well. I just, like, memorized how to write, so I write that way. But, like, if I had to pick up a piece of paper with my handwriting on it, I would be like, hey, what did she write?
No.
I don't know. So
I literally think
I have to take out my phone.
No, I think it's literally so legible. In fact, I have to read things a lot for my job of people's handwriting, and I have to ask my boss for help all the time because I cannot read people's, especially cursive. I cannot read cursive. If you send me a Christmas card and it's in cursive, I'm trying to make this Christmas related, as you could see for the Christmas special. If you send me a Christmas card and it is in cursive, like, I might not get to appreciate it. And sometimes I will use the Zoom on my phone, but still, sometimes I still, like, just cannot read that.
I literally have to take it to someone else.
Me too.
And have them read this heartfelt letter to me.
Yeah, I know. No, that's what's so awkward. I had a friend last year, and he might know who he is, who wrote me, like, a really, really sweet card. And I felt kind of weird being like, will someone else read this to me? Because it's, like, sweet, you know, it's kind of weird. So, like, it's unfortunate. And people need to write in print and big. Thank you.
Yes. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Alternatively, we could do it in person or even on FaceTime, or I don't know. We could find alternative ways, but just don't do it in cursive.
No, I mean, I think handwritten cards, I think there's something so beautiful about that. And I think, like, snail mail is really, really sweet. But, you know, just try to be mindful that we can't see. That's all.
It's true. And now, we move into... What are you planning?
What are you planning this year?
This is the flourish.
Well, I talked a little bit about it at the beginning, but I'm planning to go see A Christmas Carol this week as part of my thing I like to do before Christmas. I'm going to, make Christmas cookies with my nephews. I'm going to...
What kind?
Usually we just do sugar cookies, but we do like the shapes and then put icing and, decorate them, sprinkles and everything. And I want to make homemade fudge this year. I found a recipe that I'm excited about.
Ooh, fudge is so good.
I also want to bake cookies myself. I want to do the red and green M&M cookies. And there's so many things I want to do, so many more things I want to watch and participate in, and hopefully I get to go do that, go see some lights, go listen to some music, all the fun stuff. So I think I'm also going to have a little wrapping party with my sister mainly because she literally hates wrapping presents and I literally love it. I'm like Buddy the Elf, made over. I love anything Christmas except gingerbread houses. But I told her, I was like, I want to help you. I want to do wrapping.
How are you at wrap? Well, actually, I know the answer to this because I just got her Christmas gift yesterday, and but I'm gonna ask for the sake of the pod. How are you at wrapping gifts?
I would like to say I'm good. I do try to really take my time and do it well. Some of your gifts were weird shapes, so maybe you didn't get to really see my actual skill.
No, okay. The answer is she's good at wrapping things. I try my best. I try to have crisp edges, but every time I get to the sides, something happens. I always have to kind of hide it and tuck it and MacGyver it to the point that it looks nice on the outside, even though it's actually secretly messed up on the inside.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but we manage. It's really not always easy. I really do have to take my time with it to make it look good. But this year I went for a brown paper and twine kind of look, and it was cute. I really like that look. And I'm gonna get into a little bit more of my look later, in a little bit later in the pod, in a few minutes. But anyway, what about you? What are your plans for the year?
Oh yeah, I definitely lots of baking.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make another cranberry tart because it was great, and my family didn't get to try it. I hope to also make some red velvet cinnamon rolls in the Dutch oven.
Oh, that sounds good.
It looks really, really yummy. It looks a little bit involved, but hey, what are the holidays for if not for making an involved recipe, right?
Absolutely.
What else? There's so much I keep wanting to make. I just, right before we started recording this pod, saw a recipe for minty lime bars. And if you know anything about me, I'm obsessed with citrus. I love cranberries. I love anything tart. I love I'm like a citrusy gal.
Yeah.
And so any citrus bar, I'm going to try and make it.
Oh, I love that. I'm not as into citrus as you are, but key lime pie is one of my favorite things. So the word lime, a lime bar, give it to me. That sounds amazing.
And a minty lime, that makes me think of mojitos.
Oh, it sounds so good. Oh.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, man. I'm super excited.
This is another problem with us not living near each other because I want to try your lime bars.
I wish I could ship you the food.
I know, but it would be disgusting. No, it would not be the same. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Speaking of Christmas music, I did get the infamous Michael Bublé Christmas album from, I don't know, is it how many years old is that now?
I was in college.
I got it on.
I was a freshman in college. I want to say it was 2011.
10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was 10 years ago.
I just got it on red vinyl, and I'm very happy about it.
Beautiful.
Very.
I have some good Christmas albums on vinyl. I have Barbra Streisand. I have, why can't I think of his name? He sings Misty. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Johnny Mathis. I have
yes,
his
Johnny
Christmas
Mathis
on vinyl. I love a good Christmas vinyl. It's so perfect. And it's like, you kind of feel like you're wasting money because you're like, I'm only going to listen to this for like a month. But like that month is so amazing that it's worth it, you know?
But it's special.
It's special.
And that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah.
What are you doing on actual Christmas?
How
are you celebrating?
I think we're keeping it small with my immediate family. I'm going to be with my nephews, which I always love to be. I can't wait to give them their presents. That's something I'm looking the most forward to, is seeing their faces. Opening
at your parents' house?
My presents. We usually do it at my sister's house. It's just kind of easier for the kids because they're already there with their toys and everything. So, yeah. And
do you wear pajamas?
Of course, we all wear matching pajamas, don't you? Yes.
My mom and I match pajamas usually.
Yeah, love it.
So I gotta find out what the dress code is.
I know. We have the same ones. I know a lot of families have a tradition of like getting new pajamas every year, which I think is really cute. But we wear the exact same ones, and we have been for like probably 7 years now. And
so they're like the Christmas
jammies, and they're like, you've seen pics probably of me in them, but they are the most classic looking. Like when you picture like Christmas jammies, they are like my fave. I don't think I could ever like get better than that, so that's why we don't ever buy new ones.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like my mom and I should try, which I haven't used one in years, a nightgown.
Oh, trust me, growing up, all of my mom, my aunts, my cousins, and myself, we all wore matching nightgowns.
Man, I kind of miss nightgowns. I will say I'm always like a little bit colder than I wish to be.
Yeah, no, I wear nightgowns a lot because my room actually stays kind of hot, so I actually kind of have to wear nightgowns a lot. But I love a good nightgown. Yeah. Get a Christmas nightgown. How fun is that?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So we have
a festive game.
So we have some questions here. Last year we did Christmas this or that, which was fun. But this year we are just doing some questions. So let's start with favorite Christmas cookie to bake. I've already kind of answered this, but what is your answer?
Okay, so our Christmas cookie tradition in our family, we always made like these, I would say they're sugar cookies, but they're more of like a shortbread. They're like a butter cookie, really. So very full of butter, and they're just, they're so good. What we also do, which is like very Puerto Rican of us, right? I guess they're called thumbprint cookies in the U.S.
Yes.
But yeah, so we call them polvorones. They're like a shortbread cookie with like a thumbprint in the middle. But we usually add a little bit of almond extract, which makes them special.
Yum, I love almond flavor anything. The funny thing is I don't love almonds, but I love almond flavor.
Same though. I mean, they break your teeth.
Yes, and almond extract is so good. I put those in my Halloween cookies I made, my witch finger cookies.
Ooh,
and it was so yummy. Good. So that sounds really nice. And I have seen those thumbprint cookies. Those look so good. Do you put anything in the like you put jam in the hole or not? No? Okay.
No, we just sometimes sprinkles.
Oh, yum. Okay, that sounds so good. Like I said, I think I'm going to make the red and green M&M cookies this year. But hey, maybe next year I'll try out some more. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I know. There's so many options.
Yes.
Okay. What is I just mentioned Michael Bublé, but what is your favorite Christmas album?
So, I have two that come to mind. So, for years and years and years, I would have said my favorite, and it still is one of my favorites, was Kristen Chenoweth's. Now, she has two, but I prefer her first one, called A Lovely Way to Spend Christmas. It's really great. And it's just, I love her. But I think my favorite, I just think there's not one bad song on Ingrid Michaelson's Christmas album. It is perfection. Her voice, my mom and I always talk about how some people just have a Christmas-y voice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
She has a Christmas voice. There are some songs on there that are melancholy and sad. There are some songs on there that are fun and sweet. She wrote an original song. Both of her parents passed away fairly recently, and she wrote an original about like how time flies and like be with the ones you love. It like makes me cry. Like it's such a good Christmas album, everyone. Like incredible.
Oof, love.
It's a staple. What about you?
Okay, it's so hard. So I love like Christmas classics like a Bing Crosby, a Nat
Of
King
course, of
Cole. You
course.
gotta have your Christmas jazz. Um, One album that I feel like no one has ever heard of, but my mom had it. It like on CD, and we listened to it for like years and years. And I just listened to it with her like last week, and it just it makes me feel Christmassy. So it's by this like choral trio, and I don't know much about them other than this Christmas album. Um, and like they're called the Roaches, Roches.
Oh.
I think that's a last name maybe. But the album is We Three Kings, and it is so good. Like some of the songs are like comedic, like they do a really good like Jersey accent songs.
Oh,
but then they
fun.
also sing like really beautiful melodic, like they have like beautiful harmonies. So it's like, tri-harmony. And it's great. I love that album, and it has like my mom's favorite all-time version of We Three Kings on it.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
It's a very cool version of
I
it. So
love a
highly
good
recommend.
harmony. Mm-hmm. That sounds great. I'll have to check it out. Seriously, I love that. Okay, what is your favorite Christmas media? I know we talked about this a little in our last Christmas special, but that can be anything. Just the thing you're enjoying right now. I don't care if it's a TV show, a movie, a song. Like, what's one piece of media that pops into your head at the moment that you enjoy?
Well, I know it's basic these days, but I really love Elf. It makes me feel good.
Oh, girl.
Okay?
Girl,
Okay.
but same. But same. I literally just watched it. My yearly watch. You know what? I feel like I've said this on the pod before, probably many times, because I think we even maybe talked about Elf in like our favorite things episode. I'm not sure. But there's just something about it. It's not only funny, it is so heartwarming.
Yes.
This scene where everyone starts singing Santa Claus is coming to town, and he actually
Yes.
flies over their head, and it's like, da,
Chills.
da, da, da. Yeah. Like,
Yes, chills.
chills, literally chills. So many, like every scene that happens in it, I'm like, this is my favorite. And I'm like, no, this is my favorite. No, this, like, just so many iconic scenes and moments.
Zooey Deschanel singing, because Zooey Deschanel is required to sing at
Yes.
any given time. It's just a great movie, okay?
Their little date they go on with You Make Me Feel So Young in the back. Like, how, and she goes, you missed. Oh my gosh. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So, next question is favorite ugly Christmas sweater. Do you own? I know you own a few, but like, or how many do you own, and what are your favorites?
Yes, okay, so I'd say I have two, but I really mostly have one because the pom-poms fell off the other one.
Aw.
So it doesn't hit the same, So I have this Christmas sweater that I've had for like years, and I've worn it like to all kinds of different events, like sorority socials and just like friend parties and just all around town. But it's really cute. I think I got it at Target. But it looks like a little like elf shirt as a sweater. So it's got a little like belt. It's not like, it's just like as part of the design. And it's longer than the typical sweater, so it goes probably mid thigh. So I usually wear like pants or something else with it underneath, but it's got little like pom-pom buttons, almost like Buddy the Elf's, but not exactly. And then it's got like the like pointy red collar, and at the ends of the collar points it has little jingle bells, and I love it. And I wore it yesterday to my friend's white elephant thing. I also have this skirt that I wear with it a lot that is like a sweatery skirt, and it's got candy canes and heart shapes. So yeah, big fan. Actually, no, wait, I totally forgot about, I have another festive skirt that has like gift bows on it.
Yes, I've seen that
Yes.
one. That's so cute.
Yes.
But wait, what about What's the one that was like purple that you were wearing the other day?
That's the one that the pom-poms fell off, but it's...
Oh, I see. But it's still cute.
It's like a reindeer with sunglasses.
Yeah.
And like it used to have little pom-poms like hanging off of its antlers as like ornaments, but cute. I only have like 2 out of the 8 that used to be on there.
Yeah, gotcha. I only own 2 Christmassy shirts, which is kind of surprising because I love Christmas so much, but I've also been trying to like clean out my closet and not have a lot of extra crap, you know? So I have one, my favorite, that's red, and it kind of has just a vintage looking scene on it with like a snowy house and Santa Claus with the reindeer flying in the sky. And it's like tacky, but not really tacky, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's still cute. And then I have another one that my friend Bree gave me that is a sweatshirt that says, with the narwhal, and it says, "Bye, buddy, hope you find your dad." And even though that's not super Christmassy, I still kind of consider it like a Christmas.
It's from a Christmas movie, so it counts.
It's from a Christmas movie, so it counts. So those are my 2, and I'm happy with those 2.
I love it.
So, love them.
Okay, so favorite style of Christmas decor?
Yes, I have very strong opinions about this. I think there's so many different things. You can go for a classical look, a more fun commercial look, a more family, kid-friendly look. You know, I really, really, really am into, lately specifically, kind of like a, almost like 1800s Christmas, like, I don't know, maybe kind of more like cottagecore Christmas look of like, I'm a colonial woman at Christmas time. I really like it to look handmade. Please go into detail.
Give examples.
Well, I like it to look handmade. Like, I like my brown paper with the twine around it. And I recently bought something at Hobby Lobby that is absolutely not handmade, but I put it around my tree. And it's like the popcorn and cranberries on a string.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm obsessed with it. And I want it to look like, you know, kind of like handmade, kind of classic. And then I have these little like snowy children, like decorations that are like little like Victorian children in the snow, like carrying letters and things. Like, I just love little things like that, little trinkets and that look. The look where like it looks like you didn't put a lot of effort into it, but you like did, but it like you look like you didn't, if that makes sense. Like, I want it to look like I'm in, like, a cottage back in the olden days with, like, candles and no electricity, even though I love electricity, but you know what I mean. So, what about you?
So, I think this is a great question, and I don't fully know, actually. So, this is, like, my first Christmas in my condo, and I don't really have a whole lot of Christmas things that I've gone out and bought myself. I now have like a bigger, I have 3 Christmas trees. But I have one that's big and taller, and then I have 2 like skinny ones that are like 4 feet tall. I have a skinny silver one that I've had for like several years, and now I feel like it's gotten to, you know, be its full self, and I have also like a hot pink skinny tree, which is just really fun. So I haven't fully figured out what my Christmas style is. My mom was actually just asking me this, and I was like, I don't know yet. But the one thing,
I love that, and like, you don't have to have one, you know. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. No. Go ahead.
The one thing that I have done, which was last year, is like I bought on eBay. So when I was helping my parents decorate their tree last year, I saw these little ornaments that I've always loved. And they're these little angels with like really chubby cheeks, with like a little knit hat, and then on their wings they're like usually holding something, and then on their wings it says like, "'Tis a gift to whatever." So it's like, "'Tis a gift to be unique," and it's like a little snowflake. "'Tis a gift to be cozy," and the angel's holding a little house. I think they're the cutest things I've ever seen in my entire life. They give me cute aggression. And I bought a bunch of them on eBay, and that's the one thing I've done.
No, I think that's so special. As I knew about those ornaments, and as I was asking you the question, I literally thought about those as part of your decor. Like, you love those, and I feel like that nobody has to like follow a specific way. I think it's actually kind of cool to have a lot of different things you've gotten from different places at different times. And like, I don't always try to follow the exact way either. I just think like it's fun to look kind of like
I think
vintage,
like with some more time and some more years in a bigger space, I will end up defining that. And I think like I'm in the market for a nativity set for probably next year. And, like, I know that can be kind of pricey, but I don't know what style, and I think that's going to really set the tone.
Oh, yeah, surely. Yeah, like, my mom is super into, like, bright lights and, like, glowing snowmen and, like, crazy Santas that dance and stuff. And that is, like, so not my style at all. But at the same time, I loved it as a kid growing up so much. Like, it's so kid-friendly and fun for my nephews and stuff. Like, I loved all that stuff. And, you know, I keep it a little more traditional at my house. But it's still fun to go over to people's houses and see what all they have and the different. My mom also collects nutcrackers, and she has literally about 50 or 60 probably nutcrackers on this big table she puts out. So it's always fun to go see people's different decorations.
Yeah, that is so cool. That makes me think in Puerto Rico, so it's not usually, I don't know if I mentioned this in our other Christmas episode, it's not usually like Santa that's the big deal, but it's the Three Kings. And so like you'll go to people's houses, we'll visit family friends around Christmas time, and they have just like so many collections of like the three wise men in different, like in their different forms. Like sometimes they're made of wood, sometimes they're glass or ceramic or, you know, hand painted or whatever. So I think that like that makes me think of nutcracker collection, and I think it's really cool when people get to collect things like that.
I love that.
Okay.
Oh,
I think it's your turn.
Are you going? Am I going? Okay, what is the best gift you received for Christmas last year? Because, of course, when we recorded this last year, we didn't know what we were going to receive, and we're very grateful for everything we do receive, especially in the rough year we had last year. Yeah. But we wanted to just name, like, one thing you may have gotten that you really liked.
Yeah, so favorite gifts I got myself, I'll say, was my like always pan. It's like all the rave on the internet, but it truly is the non-stickest pan I've ever used, and it's a really pretty color, so I'm really happy I got that for myself, and I put it under the tree and I made myself wait for it.
That's so funny.
But I think I got a really special gift last year that was, so like there is one cookbook that is like the Puerto Rican cookbook to end all Puerto Rican cookbooks, and like it's surprisingly a little bit pricey, but for Christmas last year my parents got me and my brother each a copy of our own version of the current version of this cookbook called Cocina Conmigo, which is Cook With Me. And they wrote like a really sweet little dedication up front, and so I love having that in my kitchen. It's like a little slice of culture.
That's so special. I love that. Yeah. I think the main thing that sticks out in my mind is I got my Bioptics last Christmas, and that was really cool. And I've really enjoyed them, and I think the more I go out into the world, the more I'll get to enjoy them, you know, when the pandemic is, you know, whenever that ends. But, you know, I think I've gotten to do some more things this year and use them, and it's been fun.
That's so fun.
I think that would be... Yeah.
Well, we hope that you guys have a very festive season, whether or not you celebrate Christmas. But if you do, Merry Christmas. And we hope that it is a wonderful, magical season full of love.
Yes. Merry Christmas to all. Happy holidays. We hope you have a great New Year. I mean, we'll probably be around before. Yes, we will. We have another episode coming, I think, before the New Year. But anyway, hope you have a great holiday season. Much love, everyone.
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.